Okay, so I want this fork to be doing the same thing that this coin is doing. And this is lesson 19, level 11. So I'm going to look in the function that makes the coin. Okay, so set coin dot-velocity y equals random number. So that's what makes it fall at different speeds. I like that. I think I want to keep that in there. Coin.y is -50. I like that as well. Coin.x, yeah, I think I want to steal this code and use it in my game. So I'm going to copy it. And you know what? We could steal the whole function and just make a set coin function, and we'll call it set fork. Okay, so I'm going to go into show text mode because I don't see my cursor and it's down there. And okay, it's not called, so that's not a problem. These yellow triangles are not a problem. Let's rename it. Well, we got to change these to fork. And I'm going to rename it set fork. And we got to call it inside our draw function. Set fork. And let's see if that works. Okay, it's not working. So why is it not working? Let me pause the video so I can figure this out. Okay, so here I put the set fork function inside, or I called the set fork function inside the draw loop, but in lesson 19 level 11 I put the set coin function underneath the coin variable, or the sprite. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put set fork. I'm going to drag it and put it underneath the fork. Alright, cool. And it's working. Okay. The fork did not reset, so let's take a look at what code I used to reset the coin. What if statement I used. If coin.y is greater than 400, set coin. Okay. And this is inside the draw loop. Keep this in mind. So I'm going to steal this, and I want to do the same thing inside the draw loop. And I think I'm going to do it down here. So I think that's line 44. I'll put my cursor on. If, and we got to change this to fork and set fork. Alright, now the fork should reset. Yep, it does. And it's moving at random velocities. That's a good thing. Okay. I'm going to pause the video and figure out what I want to do next. Okay, I think the next thing I want to do is create a function that controls the player. So if you go to lesson 21, level 15, and open that in a new tab, this is where we created a function to control our player. I'm going to get rid of this tab. I think we're done with it for now. So here we created a control player function. Let's find that function, control player. Okay, so this is what made the player able to move left, right, and up. Okay, I'm going to steal this function and put it in my code for the game we're creating in lesson 22. Okay, now we're going to want to adjust this because it's different on our game. So line 75, I'm going to go into show text mode. Line 75, paste that function in there. Control player. I'm going to keep the function name, but remember our sprite is called green monster. And I'm going to highlight that, copy it, and paste it because that's a long name. And now I would have to call this, let's see where we called it here, control player. Let's see where it's called, probably in the draw loop. Yeah, right there, line 32 in the draw loop. So I'm going to call it in the draw loop here, control player. And I'm not sure if it has to be after the if statements, but I'm going to put it there. Alright, yeah, so I'm going to have to adjust it later, but it looks like it's working. Yep. Okay, great. Okay, so let's adjust the velocity, because when I press the up arrow, as you can see, the alien goes, or the green monster goes flying. So instead of -5, let's do let's make it 2.5, half as much velocity. That looks a little better. Why isn't it coming down? I'm not sure. Does the alien come down in this one? Yes, it does. Oh, you know what? I bet the starting velocity is positive. So, player, alien. Show score, loop platforms, loop items, player fall. Okay, so that's its own separate function. And it's set to velocity +1, velocity y. I guess I'll take that idea and put it into my own. Okay, so I just copied that function, and I'm going to go into text mode, place that function there. Remember, we want green monster instead of player. And that's going to be called in the draw loop. I just don't know where, so let's check where. Player fall is in the draw loop beneath the if statement. So I'm going to put it beneath control player. Alright, there we go. Okay, so my player did fall. I couldn't get him back up on the screen. Oh, probably because the negative velocity is so much more powerful than the positive. Okay, then let's make the player fall velocity a little less. Let's make it 0.5. Alright, yeah, that's perfect. I like this a lot. Okay, great. Okay, so I think the only thing, well, we need the colliders, so we need the character to be able to land on the platform. So how do we do that? Well, it works in here, right? Let's check. Yep, it does, because I just hit the top of those platforms. I haven't landed on a platform. I want to see that. Oh, it looked like I landed. Yep, okay, cool. It works. Okay. So I want the character, or green monster, I want him to be able to land on these platforms. So let's see what code I used here. So if you scroll through to your functions, we have a player lands function and platform 2. So we're going to have to do the same thing. Let's copy this function and let's paste it in here. make sure your cursor is at the bottom. And again, we gotta change these values to green monster. So I'm going to copy that, paste it in here, paste it in here. And we don't have any sprite called platform, but we have platform 1. We also want green monster to collide with platform 3. So we got to change this, copied and pasted that, platform 3. So now it should work. Oh wait, no, I need to call this function inside the draw loop. Where did I call it in here? Player lands. It's beneath the if statements. I'm not sure if that matters, but it's been working so far, so let's stick with it. Player lands. And now it should work. Yes, this looks great. Great. So now we need to make the player affected by the forks and the coins. Also, I just noticed that our display boards aren't displaying, so let's fix that. So I'm looking at the code, and we have display boards, the function called above all these if statements. I think I'm going to move it beneath all the if statements, and I think that should show our display boards. Let's reset it. Yes, okay, they appeared. Okay, so now we want to be able to collect the coins and the forks to decrease our lives. So let's see. Let's see how we did that in lesson 21. And right away I see collect items, the function called, so let's find that function. And that's going to be what we want. Okay, collect items. Players touching star. Yeah, so it's the same idea in this game. If we touch the star, it improves our score. If we touch the fly, it doesn't. It decreases our score. So we have the same idea. It's just that in our new game on lesson 22, instead of decreasing the score, we're going to have the lives decrease when our player gets hit by a fork. So let's take this collect items function, copy it by pressing Control-C on your keyboard, and let's go back to lesson 22 and create that function. Line 97, paste that function. Okay, again, these triangles are not a bad thing. It's just telling us that we haven't declared these sprites that we need to change, and that the function hasn't been called yet. So player, we want that to say green monster. Touching star. Okay, so this is score equals score plus 1. So we want that if green monster is touching what? The coin. Or no, I think we named it bronze in this. And bronze would reset. Okay, now if green monster is touching fly, or in this case, what's the bad thing? Fork. Fork resets. Fork resets. Score is not changing. Lives is changing. So lives equals lives minus 1. And now we have to call this collect item. So where did they call this in the draw loop? Here. This is also beneath the if statements. Okay, so let's see how this goes now. Okay, so the coin worked, although I don't see it anymore. Let's see if we can get hit by the fork. Okay, yep, and the fork is working too.